If you want to make economy picking part of your regular playing, you need to practice on some exercises that feature simple, repeating patterns, like this one. Hey there kids, it's your good buddy, Uncle Ben. Economy picking is one of those techniques that has really infested my guitar playing over the past couple of years, in a good way. I used to not do it at all, couldn't really get a hold of it, but whenever I started practicing little bursts of economy picking and finding some patterns that really worked with it, I started to see the benefits and it started to pop up more and more in my soloing and improvisation. The trick is not practicing stuff that solely uses economy picking. That can be kind of overwhelming. Patterns like the one I'm going to show you today use a combination of alternate picking and economy, and I swear if you practice this stuff for a little while, it's going to become a regular part of your playing too. As always, this video is brought to you guys by everybody who supports my channel over on my Patreon page, patreon.com/BenEllerGuitars. Sign up today even for just that $1 a month level. You're going to get access to a ton of bonus lessons, backing tracks, and so much more. This week, everybody who supports my channel, even for just $1 a month, is going to get access to tabs to go along with this video, plus the practice tracks that I made at a variety of different tempos to help you get this technique up to speed in no time. So don't delay. Sign up today. Gear-wise for this video, I'm using my Paul Reed Smith Hollowbody Pieze, which is truly a delight. I'm playing that through the Fractal Audio Axe FX3. Yeah, let's hear your new favorite economy picking workout again at stepdad speed. So the cool thing about this pattern is you can practice it with any 3-note per string scale pattern that you know. For today's example, we're going to be using this A minor scale pattern starting from the B note on the low E string fret number 7. Here's the pattern, that way you'll know the lay of the land before we start getting into the exercise. Start off here on B, C, D, then on the next string E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then lastly, C, D, E. I know somebody out there is going to say that's a B Locrian scale pattern, not an A minor scale pattern, but in terms of the function of the harmony, trust me, it's A minors. The notes of the A minor scale, just in a different order. Anyway, this workout's based on sextuplets, meaning 6 notes go by every beat. And we're going to start off here with the A note on the D string. Just play up the scale, A, B, C, and then go back to the first note, A. Okay? And then what you're going to do after that is to finish out this grouping of 6 notes by playing the G note and the F note on the A string. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just alternate pick this. Down, up, down, up, down, up. Then play the same idea but from the E note on the A string. So you're going to walk up its 3 notes, E, F, G, back to its first note, E, and then play down 2 notes of the scale, D and C. Again, all alternate picked. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. This is where the economy picking is going to come into play here. We're going to play up the low E strings notes, down, up, down, then connect that to the A strings notes, down, up, down. So down, up, down, down, up, down. Notice how the pick just slips from the last downstroke of the low E onto the A string and kind of waits right there to be pushed through to play those notes. Down, up, 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 down, down, up, down. Now you're going to restart the pattern after this with a downstroke. So we're going to do another one of those slips from the last note of the A string to the first note of the D string that starts the pattern over again. So if I repeat it and say the picking out loud, it'll be like this. Down, up, 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 down, down, up, down, down, up, 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 down, down, up, down. The easiest way to understand this and to kind of streamline this in your thinking is just to tell yourself, always start a new string on a downstroke. That's really the easiest way to understand this. Down, 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 down. Every string, it's always going to start off on a downstroke. I think that's the easiest way to understand it. So the way I put the tracks together is you're going to play through it twice and then just pause on that very last note. And then what we're going to do is to continue the same idea, but starting on the next string of the scale. So the G string here, fret number 7, it's a D note. D, E, F, D, then play down the next string, C and B, A, B, C, A, next string, G, F, and then we're going to economy pick our way up. E, F, G, A, B, C. Repeat. And pause. After this, the same idea, but starting off here from the G note on the B string. This is the stretchy one here. So we're going to play G, A, B, G, and then down F to E. Playing up the G string here. And then economy pick your way up. And lastly, the high E string here, starting from the C note. And that is the entire workout. Let's try it again here from the start here. D string, fret 7 is our starting point. G string. B string. And high E. There you go. Okay, so again, that is a good way to combine your alternate picking and economy picking chops. Here's the thing, like there are lines that really only work with alternate picking. There are lines that really only work with economy picking. And you need to be able to kind of change between those fighting styles on a dime. So I find that practicing licks like that one that feature those rapid changes from alternate to economy picking wherever you need it are really good to help you become mentally flexible in changing those picking styles. Okay, now one thing you might have noticed here, you got to scoot over so you can see my picking hand a little better and my water bottle. One thing you probably noticed here is that this is only half of the economy picking picture, isn't it? Because we're doing downs to downs, but there's no ups to ups here. And I'm sure that some of you guys, when you started this exercise, probably went down, up, down, like that. Then the next line can't be economy picked, yada yada. So part of the reason why I had trouble getting economy picking down back in the day is because I didn't understand the mechanics of how my personal picking style works. This is stuff that was all revealed to me due to Troy Grady and the amazing Cracking the Code series here on YouTube. I've talked about it a million times. And what I found out from that series is that I am a downwards pick slanting player, just like Eric Johnson and Yngwie Malmsteen and lots of other players. The difference between me and them is that they had figured out what works for their picking and I had not. So here's the basic idea of this downward pick slanting stuff. My pick strokes don't go up and down. Like if these are the strings and this is my pick strokes don't go up and down. They go in and out like this, okay? See how my downstroke goes into the strings, my upstroke comes out of the strings. That's just naturally how I've always played. This means that my pick pops out of the strings on an upstroke, so it's really easy for me to change strings after ups, like the 4-note patterns that we played earlier. See that? That's why I don't economy pick those. My upstroke is already out. But like if I was doing this move, down, up, down, that's what gets tricky for me. Down, up, down. My pick is in the strings. I'd have to jump out to continue alternate picking, up, down, up. Okay, so that kind of held me back to, from getting those kind of patterns down. But what I didn't understand is that because of my picking tendencies that I just naturally came across, it's kind of like I have a paintbrush that is permanently angled like this. Now, you got to think about it. If you're painting a wall or something, your paintbrush goes both ways, depending on if you're going up the wall or down the wall. My paintbrush is basically fixed to only go down the wall. And the reason I had struggled with economy picking for years is because I was trying to make the paintbrush go up the wall, like this, It doesn't really work very well. I would have been better off with my fixed paintbrush only painting down the wall. That would have been the better way for me to do that, right? This is essentially what kind of economy picking I do now. I don't really do much any up to up outside of sweeps and stuff like that. Like all my economy picking stuff is down to down. Same with Yngwie, same with Eric Johnson, same with Joe Bonamassa, Marty Friedman, lots of economy picking players. Like saying that I economy pick is only half true. I do half of economy picking, the down to down parts. I don't do any up to up in my regular playing yet, but I am working on it. You could modify this exercise and phrase everything backwards to work on up to up, which is something that I should do. But anyway, with patterns like this, I found that it really helped me understand my downward pick slanting nature and play phrases that really cater to that. So again, these first phrases featured upstroke changes. My picking loves that. And then I use economy if I need to go downstroke to downstroke. And as I go downstroke to downstroke, I really got to focus on that pick parking technique that I've talked about, where after that last downstroke, you really use the next string as kind of the stopping block for the pick. Down, up, down, resting on the next string. Down, up, down, resting on the next string until it's time to go down, up, down, and so on. Like after every one of those connecting downstrokes I'm doing right now, there's always like a moment where the pick is going down and sitting on the next string until it's time to plow through it and play its notes. One thing I really value about this exercise too, with the way that it involves alternate picking and economy picking, is our alternate picking tends to be very groovy. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. But a lot of our economy picking and sweep picking tends to just be kind of like as fast as you can do it. And it can get really out of control with the tempo. You might be way outrunning it just because it's easy to slip through the strings really fast when you're economy picking, especially if that paintbrush is being held in the right direction like I was talking about earlier. So by combining really rhythmic alternate picking and the more loose, slippery economy picking feeling, you can really notice if your tempo is getting away from you when you economy pick. This is the great thing about using those practice tracks that I'm providing on the Patreon. I'm putting them up at a variety of different tempos, and even if the slow ones are easy for you, you should practice them, because it's really difficult to economy pick fluidly and rhythmically at lower tempos. Like I can burn that stuff at high tempos all day, but if it's like a medium tempo thing, my pick, it just wants to burn through the strings when I get to the economy picking stuff. So practicing these with the metronome or the practice tracks and being forced to keep your economy picking as rhythmic as your alternate picking is going to be a real challenge, but I swear to you, it'll pay off. Also be sure to practice this on any of the other 3-note per string scale patterns that you know. So if you know like an Ionian pattern or a minor scale, any of those, man, practice this pattern with those and it'll really serve you well. And work this into your soloing and improvising. I think one of the first places I started really using this phrase a lot was with this little friendly box right here, right? We all know this one. Kind of the Jimmy Page box, right? It's like an A blues scale, but it also has the 6 in there from the Dorian mode and the 9. You know, so you can wine them, dine them. 6/9, if you will. Anyway, so if you play that phrase, you can get some use out of this pattern. Again, it sounds really ripping inside of there. It's inside of that kind of blues rock sort of phrasing. That's a hot one right there. So that's a good one to practice too, because it's the same fingering on every string, and it's a pattern you probably already know. So try to burn this exercise through that pattern as well. You're going to get a lot of benefits out of it and start rocking it into your shredding solos at your next gig. So there you go, guys. A great workout and phrasing concept to get your economy picking chops up to snuff today. Doesn't matter if you like jazz fusion greats like Frank Gambale or rock and roll players like Yngwie Milkshake or Joe Bonamassa. You can make this economy picking stuff a regular part of your playing and really burn it up, because these phrases are reliable, repeatable, faster than a cheetah on a speedboat. Thanks so much for liking this video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and ring the bell down below for notifications every time I upload a new slice of fried gold. Head on over to my Patreon page over at patreon.com/Ben Eller Guitars to sign up today and get access to those practice tracks, as well as a ton of other bonus goodies just for you guys. Alright guys, it's been rad, but it's time to get away from the computer and start making economy picking a regular part of your playing. Less clicking, more picking.